Hi friends, welcome to the Mastermind Moments podcast.
Hosted by your pals, Josh and Sasha.
Join us during our weekly mastermind as we collaborate on how to make the most out of our lives.
Not only are we going to mastermind our careers, we're going to work on all areas of life together.
Let's do it. Listen in as we make the most of our mastermind moments.
Hi, hello.
Hi, good
Good
morning.
morning. How's it going?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. I've had actually a really good week. I've been building on stuff compared to, I think when we spoke last, I was just starting to get back into my routine and starting to build on that. And yeah, I've got really into the flow, which is
Oh,
good.
perfect.
How are you?
Amazing. I'm amazing. I've been gallivanting around France and hanging out with my friends and working relentlessly on this huge project for, I don't know what it's going to turn into, but it's definitely a podcast project and it's a huge project and my friends are so nice for helping me with it. We can chat more about it later, but before we do, let's spin a wheel. What about growth? Wait, what habits have you developed that have significantly contributed to your personal growth?
That's funny you should ask that. Over the last couple of weeks, as we discussed before, since I got back from India, I really fell out of shape. I have been following my habit tracker so religiously since January, and it's been a real game changer for me. I feel that that is honestly the core reason why my seasonal depression this year was practically non-existent.
Yeah.
It was so solid. And then I went to India, and it was difficult to keep it going, but I did for the most part, except for a couple of weeks. And then I've come back, and it was just impossible to get back into the flow. However, last week I made the decision that that needs to change, and so last week I had a really solid tracker. I had 38 out of 42 that I hit. This week I'm already on 100%, and the difference, the core difference, I say 100%, it's only been one day, but
Right, I was about to say, that's
yeah. But I got 100% yesterday, which is a good start to the week. And so the core difference for me was, I think I mentioned this last week, I put into my habit tracker last week that I'm going to, as my weekly goal, to get a perfect habit tracker. And I didn't get a perfect habit tracker, but I was close. And now this week is going to be easier, but the core habits on there, and the reason I gave that kind of backstory is because literally after 1 week of getting back on track, I feel so much better. I feel like I'm out of the rut that I was in. I feel just in a good headspace, a strong, clear headspace.
Yeah.
So the core of that habit tracker for me is meditation, exercise, reading. And at the moment, I've also got, so last week and this week, I've had waking up at 7 a.m. Now, from the 38 out of the 42, 3 of the ones that I missed were 7 a.m. starts. However, I did wake up 4 times at 7 a.m. last week, which is really solid by my standards.
Yeah.
You know how much I struggle to wake up early.
Yeah.
And honestly, the days that I woke up at 7, the difference in my day, like I had so much time in the morning that those extra 2 hours just gave me so much time to do stuff
Yeah.
before work and just to start my day. Like I woke up and I was like, I'm not rushed. I have time to get these things done. So every morning that I woke up 7 a.m., I meditated, I exercised, I went for a run every day of the week last week. I read before work as well to get my brain going. So what else do I have on my habit track? I've got posting a reel every day as well. That's a really important one. And the final one is, oh my God, what's the final one? Oh yeah, doing 30 minutes of work every day. So 30 minutes of side hustle work. So what that looked like last week, I made some content for the podcast that I need to post. I would work on my own stuff. Like I've been making a business plan recently, and basically there's been a lot of pivoting. We can talk about that later. But basically just working on that stuff. And those 6 core things, 2 of them are interchangeable, but the core of it is the meditation, the exercise, and the reading. They're every week. they've been huge for me over the last few months. And so those are kind of the main habits that I think are really important, especially the meditation and exercise.
Yeah, I was about to say those are the two that kind of stick out to me that also feel the same for me. It's if everything is going well, I'm meditating and I'm exercising every day, basically, without fail. Even if it's a walk, even if it's a 5-minute meditation. I'd also throw in there connecting with a loved one, and I'd also throw in there having fun. Even if that's just a little moment of joy for myself, it can be very, very small, but making sure I'm incorporating some sort of joy and play into my day, I think is super important. Those 4 things, like movement, meditation, connecting with a loved one, and having some sort of fun and moving towards your goals in whatever which way. But as far as habits go, those I feel like set the foundation for everything else.
So you look to to have fun every single day, pretty much.
Yeah, and yeah, very much. I think even if it's small, even if it's small, even if it's as simple as going for a walk or just like connecting with a loved one can be fun too. Anything that just brings me some sort of joy. I don't want to go through a day where there's no pleasure and joy. But even if the pleasure and joy is very, very small, I still want that in my day. Because it's like, I find that if I'm working with no joy and I'm just working myself into the ground, then I'm like, what am I doing it all for anyway? I need to enjoy my life too. But again, it can be like the joy can be so small. It literally can be, oh, like I had a piece of chocolate, or I did this thing for myself, or this thing for myself, or whatever. It can be anything as long as it just makes me happy in some way for no other reason than the fact that it's making me happy.
Yeah, it made me think about the reel that I saw a while ago that we spoke about on the podcast, where the guy started to ask himself every day, how can I make this situation fun? You know, for me, I think, or for a lot of people, fun or going out and creating fun or having fun looks like going out and seeing friends or doing something cool, going to a sports match or doing something.
Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily have to look like that. It can literally be you're in a certain position. You could be working solidly all day, but you can find a way to make that fun or to step out of that for 20 minutes and have some fun, which is something I've been struggling with recently. But I think you can find the fun in any situation.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. You just have to create it and make it and be okay with the fact that the fun might be really just a whisper of fun. It doesn't need to be taking a whole afternoon to go do something or doing something crazy. It can just be like a whisper of something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, interesting. I think fun is definitely something I need to implement more into my day to day. At the moment, I think even before that was went by the wayside a bit, I've what I found with my habit tracker is that because that's the core of my day, like my day is focused around that and then work, of course. My days go so quickly. And I think that's right now for me, that's a good thing in that I'm waiting for Savita to come back and I'm waiting to go and see her. And it feels like such a long time. The first couple of weeks after coming back from India felt so long.
Yeah.
And that's because I wasn't filling my day with stuff. I was just brain rotting all day.
Yeah.
And now I've changed that. So, but fun is definitely something I need to implement more. And communicating with loved ones, reaching out to a loved one is really something I'm seriously lacking right now. So yeah, I definitely need to think about both of those things.
Yeah, like for me, the fun can even just be putting on music, like preparing, like taking a break from work for like literally 2 minutes, 5 minutes, putting on music and like having a dance party. Like simple as that, and also gives you some movement. And loved ones can be as simple as sending a text being like, hey, thinking about you, or a quick voice note being like, oh my God, I was thinking about you. You came to mind, just sending you some love, that's all. And like all of these things can take 1 to 2 minutes if we don't feel like we have the time.
Yeah, no, exactly. But I think recently, and we can talk about it later, there's been reasons that I've been holding back from having fun recently and it's been difficult. But I'm curious how you're getting on in France. Where are you? Are you in Paris right
I
now?
am
Or are you
not.
somewhere else?
I am
No.
in, I'm in Biarritz right now,
Okay. Okay.
which is on the southwest of France. It's like closer to Spain, so a lot more Spanish influence. It's a cute little town. I'm here with my 2 gal pals. We're here for 3 nights, 4 days or something. We just got here yesterday. So it's like I kind of took off a week from work. I guess I kind of did. And we're just here and we are having like a cute little girls trip. And it's just been great. I hit my 1/3 of my trip yesterday. So I arrived a week ago from yesterday. I'm here for 3 weeks total. And it's been lovely so far. And like the way it's split, I'm here visiting 2 friends. And it's like last week, one of our friends was working. So I was like spending all the time with one friend. This week, we're both together. All three of us are together traveling. And then the third friend is leaving. So I'm spending like quality time with the other friend. So it like kind of splits the time really nicely between the three of us, where I get like enough one-on-one time with both of them, because we all have our own individual friendships as well as like a group dynamic too. But these two have been, first of all, like friends 10 out of 10. Like I have to send you the videos of us like reuniting, because the ultimate joy that I've been feeling just being around them. Because I've talked to these girls every single day since leaving France last year, like 10 months, every single day without fail. I've talked to these girls. So like they've become, over the year, even though I haven't seen them in almost a year, like they become like some of my best friends. So it's been really nice to connect in person and to be like, oh, I don't even need to catch up on your lives because I know what's happening. And it's been really nice. So friends 10 out of 10, physical environment 10 out of 10. My French I think has really improved since last year. Like I feel way more comfortable speaking French, and I've been speaking a lot more French and slipping into franglais like really naturally and a lot more, which has felt really good. So like personal,
What's franglais?
like Fringlish.
No, I figured, but like how does that work? You just like switch between the two in a
I'll
sentence.
kind of do an entire sentence of French and then a word I don't know in French. I'll just throw in the English word. Or like we'll bob between, because a lot of us, or out of the three of us, two of us speak French and one like kind of does. But like we'll just switch to French sometimes. Or
Okay.
like we'll be out and about in the house or like the community living house, and like the conversations will be half and half. Like you'll switch really naturally, which is the way I'm liking speaking French this way, because it's like good to practice, but also no pressure if it's not perfect. So that's been feeling really good personal growth wise. Family was great because I spent some time with them, but I barely talked to my family this week. So I put that lower, but in general, because I was home and because I'm going to be spending so much time with them next month, I'm like, okay to not prioritize that. I'd say the piece right now that's really front and center would be kind of career. With work right now, I took off, but it's steady right now, but making sure, okay, this time while I'm here, there's so much I'm trying to do that I'm like trying to split my time nicely and have work for my 9 to 5, like when I can, basically at weird hours during the day. But the piece that feels really exciting is this project that I mentioned earlier, where my friends are like, I basically bullied them into it. I sent them a whole creative brief before I got to Paris, like months ago, about this whole idea of, we talked about it, where last summer I was living in this community living house, and it's 30 people, 30 hot, young, working single professionals in a house in Paris. There's craziness last year. There was like love triangles, there's betrayal, there's friendship, there's France, there's life transitions. It's a reality show. And I kept saying, you couldn't have written a better chick flick. You couldn't have written a better chick flick. And then I was like, why am I not doing something with this story? Because the
Yeah.
story's so good. And so I sent a creative brief to my friends months ago being like, I had this idea where we sit down and we film and we talk about what happened last summer, but every day we shoot the episodes in really beautiful and gorgeous, really, really beautiful Paris and France locations. So my friends do photo and video, that's what they do, and I do audio. I got new mics, I have a whole new setup. It's very professional looking, sounds great. And they're doing the video and we're shooting in these stunning, iconic Paris and France locations, talking through what happened last summer. And it's a project. It is 2 to 4 hours of filming a day. We did it all last week, like Tuesday through Friday, took a break for the weekend, and now we're back at it with all three of us. And I keep checking in with them being like, because this is all of our projects, but I'm the one spearheading this project, and it's something that I was the one who birthed, and I didn't really give them an option if they wanted to work on it. I was like, hee, we're doing this. I think for them, they're both enjoying it, like reflecting and like chatting and like yapping about last summer. But I'm just so aware about being very cognizant of the fact that they're spending their time and energy doing this with me. And whatever this turns into, obviously, like I would definitely make sure that they're a part of, they're going to be as equally as rewarded for whatever happens for this as much as I am. And it's a great portfolio piece for both of them too. And
For sure.
because they're both in marketing, they're both in creative. So, and they both take content. So it's like it's good portfolio piece for all of us. And I like I'm just trying to be very aware of it because I just don't want to burn anybody out, especially when we're like having fun. So it's been really incredible to work on it, and I've been feeling so juiced up creatively from it. I'd also say we haven't talked about this. So my intern quit.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God, no.
Yeah. So my intern quit. She gave me 2 weeks, thank God. So this is the other top of mind thing for career. She quit, and I have her last day editing and posting is Friday. So starting Friday, I have to deal with social myself, but I found my replacement. I literally found my replacement an hour after she quit. I was on the call with her, and as she was quitting, I was like, I had this whisper of a thought in my head, and I was like, you should call Danny. And for anyone listening, Danny Curtis, go back and listen to his episode on Mastermind Moments. We love him. We've known him for a long time, like over a decade at this point. And Danny and I have had a lot of conversations about him wanting to start video editing. And a year ago when I posted the job, he messaged me and he's, hey, I'm interested in this, but I told him like, I can't pay you. I just want to make sure, whatever. So as she was quitting, I had the thought, I was like, oh, I should message Danny. And literally immediately after that call, I call him, no answer. I send him a voice message. And I'm like, hey, this is what's happening. My intern just quit. I need a video editor. This is kind of what's happening. Let me know what you think. And he calls me back 2 hours later and he's like, it's crazy. Like from the universe, I just had this like tarot card reading where people in my life kept telling me that I will have these creative projects fall into my lap out of nowhere. And he told me, he's like, I'm trying to get back into video editing. It's something I'm like really wanting to get back into. Yes, let's do it. I'm into it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, seriously. So Danny's starting, it should be next week. So there's 1 week in between where I have to do the content myself, which there's so much from this Paris trip and so much I'm like still going through LA content. Like on paper, I'm still in LA. And I'm trying to eat through as much of that as possible just because there's so much and it's so good. So working through that content, and then it's also giving me the opportunity to have a new team member come on. It's giving me the opportunity to set the standards, to think about the strategy, to take the strategy that's in my head and put it on paper, to get more intentional about it, and to like really sit through everything. So it's giving me an opportunity to do that, but it's also stressful because like I'm here and like even though I'm hanging out with my friends, my gal pals, like we're recording like so much content and we're doing so much content while we're here that it's I'm like finding the time for my 9 to 5, let alone finding the time for the strategy and everything else. Like everything else on my to-do list, I haven't even looked at since I've gotten to France because I'm really, really putting in the elbow grease into this project. And I knew that part of the reason I put notice in at my job so early was because I thought I was going to give them a month and I thought I was going to have these 3 weeks to focus on the project, which I'm realizing is a blessing in disguise because I don't think we would have had the creative bandwidth and the energy bandwidth to record this much because it is a lot. It is to be on front of a camera, in front of a mic for 2 to 4 hours a day is really intense, especially when you don't.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, when you don't do it all the time and moving locations and setting up the film and doing everything. It's a lot of work and I don't discount that, and I'm so grateful for my friends that they've been like really into doing this with me. It's like everything has been going towards this project, and I took the weekend off, which was really nice, but so I haven't thought about anything else, honestly. It's like work and being present with my friends, and that's it. Everything else has fallen to the wayside, and I knew that was going to do that while I was here. I knew that my time here was going to be focused on the project, and we have to get through it because it's like we only have this amount of time to film together because we don't know the next time we're all going to be together. So it's like I feel a pressure crunch and a time crunch, but then at the same time, it's like, I know that what we're creating is magic and really, really special. And I don't know what it's going to turn into. One of my girlfriends is going to manage the distribution and marketing of it because we need to sit down and be like, what is this thing? Does it need to be its own YouTube channel? Does it need to be its own thing? What is this project? Because it doesn't quite fit under my brand, only my brand. And it's also very raunchy too. So it's not quite personal development-y. It's very much girls yapping, girl time, silly chat kind of vibe. So that's what I've been sitting on. So I've been working on this project and it's been really rewarding, but also I feel pressure in a lot of ways. Number one, to keep it enjoyable for my friends because they're being so kind in helping me with this and making sure that they're feeling energized and fulfilled from this project as much as I am. And number two is I feel a lot of pressure time-wise. There's not a lot of time and there's a lot of content to go through and a lot to edit. Or edit I'm not even gonna think about, but there's a lot of stuff to record and to film, and just want to be as efficient as possible with everyone's time and energy, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah, it sounds like it. That's really intense, but if you're enjoying it for the most part, that's the most important thing. Obviously, would you say that's the main reason you went into this? Obviously, it's a great idea for content as well, but is that kind of the core reason that you did it, is for fun?
Yeah, this project just felt so alive to me. Once I had the idea, I couldn't stop thinking about it. And it's just one of those ideas that it feels so alive. I just had to do it. So yeah, definitely to have fun. It was like when you have one of those ideas and you just have to run with it. I was like, I don't know. I can't not.
Yeah, yeah. No, I love the idea. I think it's so cool, and I'm really excited to hear the content. I think it sounds like a kind of genuinely like a Love Island kind of vibe, which, I mean, I don't watch Love Island, for the record. Just for the people out there who are judging me for watching Love Island, I don't watch Love Island. But it sounds like a really cool idea, and especially it's something I would listen to, especially as your friend. I think it'd be so interesting and funny to hear what you're up to, and what the house is like and the vibe, and I think it's really cool. It's a separate thing that you're doing? It's not going to be like a series on your own podcast?
I have no idea how we're going to distribute this thing. I have no idea what this thing is going to look like. Do I just do because it's so far, we're a third of the way through. We've already filmed 4 to 6 hours of content. So by the time we're done, we're looking at 20 hours or something of content, and like that. And it's a deep edit. It's not like a quick edit where I can knock out our edit in an hour or two. It's not difficult, but 20 hours of content, and it's not, the audio and video are not connected. So like I have to go and cut.
Oh man.
I had to cut everything because I'm doing the audio like with my mics, they're doing the video, and like it's not cut together. So it's like a very, very deep edit. Like the edit is going to take me months. So I'm like, in that time, we can sort out like how we want to distribute it. Is it going to live on its own YouTube channel? Is it going to live on my podcast? Is it going to live on like its own podcast? Is it something that we save and we pitch to somebody? Is it, who knows what it's going to look like? I'm not sure, but again, like I can't focus on the edit. I can't focus on the distribution. Like I just need to focus on like the filming and making the process as efficient and enjoyable as possible for everybody, just because it's like my friends are just so kind and spending their time and energy working on this with me, and my top priority is to make sure that they're enjoying it and not feeling burnt out. Like I can tell by the end of however many episodes, where like last night we were supposed to record 2 more and my friend was like, dude, I gotta stop. Like my eyes are tired. Granted, we recorded so late yesterday, so like we couldn't get through everything, but my eyes are fucking tired. Like I gotta stop.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Listen, I think you're thinking the right way in terms of that, making sure that they're enjoying it and taking a large element of the burden of the stressful side of things, or the hard work side of things, or harder work side of things from them. You got to be careful, because you can't allow yourself to burn out. And it sounds like you are having fun, but also working extremely hard to make this work, and make sure you're not carrying too much of a burden that it starts to weigh on your shoulders.
Yeah.
I think that's really important.
Yeah, I definitely feel emotionally like I'm so aware of everyone's energy levels, of everyone's enjoyment levels, and doing my best to make sure, be like, hey, how are you feeling? Are you enjoying doing this? Are you liking it? How can we make it more fun? How can we make it more enjoyable? How can we be more efficient with it so we're not like eating up all this time, energy? Like how can we incorporate it into like realizing that, okay, spending the entire afternoon doing it back to back to back isn't great for the energy. We should do some of them in the morning, take a good long break, do some of the in the afternoon, evening. Like we don't need to spend the entire day going from location to location. Let's pick one location that has a couple of different spots and then move on, and like just stuff like that. So it's getting better and better, and yeah, definitely something to sit on and think about. But it's been, yeah, you're right, just making sure I'm not carrying the burden. I just, to some degree, feel it. I feel responsibility.
Yeah, I understand that, but as long as you're coping with it okay for now, then there's no reason why not. But if it's going to get to a certain point where you will burn out or it will start to weigh on your shoulders, you can see that point coming at some point, then just be careful. Just look after yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's,
And
yeah.
sorry, yeah, go on.
No, I have nothing else to say. What do you think?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say when you told me about Danny, I just felt this like rush of kind of like happiness. Like I thought that was is such a cool thing that you guys are working together. And I was gonna say, what are the chances that that kind of worked out? But you had the idea to reach out to him. But it's so cool. I think it's so cool, and things happen at a certain time to make way for other things, and I think that could be a really beautiful partnership.
Yeah.
You guys are best friends. You've been really close for so many years now, and I've watched that relationship flourish over the years, and such a fun, loving relationship. And yeah, it just makes me so happy to kind of, or excited also to see where that can go for both of you.
Yeah.
I think it's a really cool thing.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see where it goes with him, and I think like for us, it's both kind of a win-win. We'll see how it goes. I feel honestly, I feel pretty stressed out about getting the strategy in my head into paper, and then take that 1 week of content that I have to do myself, where it's like, oh my God, I actually have to post and remember to do this and do that and whatever, and I'm like, oh my God, that's like a little nerve-wracking, especially because I'm just like already so slammed, and geez, I need to take an extra 30, like now put Instagram and TikTok back on my phone and take an extra 30 minutes or hour to get everything. I'm like, Jesus, I barely have enough time already to get through the day, let alone adding like an extra huge to do. So I'm a little nervous about that, but it's only 1 week, so not the biggest deal. And there's plenty of content to post. So we'll see, but yeah, anyway, that's me. How are you doing? What's happening?
Yeah, as I say, I've been pretty good for the most part. There's been a real improvement over the last week and a half or so since I started getting back on track. The 7 a.m. starts genuinely have been such a game changer for me. I know for a lot of people that doesn't sound early, but for someone who's spent most of the time waking up at 9:15 pretty much every single day, like rolling out of bed and going to my morning meeting, um, it's really early. And there've been days where there's been, I guess, 6 days now that I've woken up at 7 a.m. over the last week and a half. And there have been some of those days where it's been really tough and I've had to force myself to get out of bed. And there have been a couple of days where I failed to get out of bed. But I think what I'm starting to see now is that it's making such a huge difference to my day, that I wake up and I'm like, oh, I don't want to. Like yesterday, I woke up at 7 and I literally went on my watch, which is where my alarm is, and I changed it to 8:40. And then I was like, no, I need to be waking up now. It's gonna change my day. I'm gonna get so much shit done. I have to do it. And so I got out of bed. And what I'm finding is that because I have so much time between 7 and starting work, I don't have to get up and be doing shit straight away. I'm getting up and I'm like having a slow 10 minutes, brushing my teeth, washing my face, getting ready for my day, and then I can get into it. The other thing that I'm noticing, or the other thing worth pointing out, is that I'm at my mum's right now dog sitting, and I have been since last Tuesday. And that's taking up probably 15, 20 minutes of my morning when I wake up at 7. So when I'm back home, that's going to be another 15, 20 minutes that I'll have on top of the extra time that I already have. So I'll have so much time to get shit done. And I love the dogs. I'm not blaming them, but I always had this intention when I came here. I was like, actually, if anything, the dogs give me a reason to wake up at 7 so that I can just get them fed, let them out with no time pressure, which again, in the past, when I've stayed at my mum's and dog sat, I've woken up 10 minutes earlier than I normally would, and then I have to rush to feed them and to let them out. And usually I let them out and they're waiting to come back in while I finish my morning meeting, but there's none of that now. So yeah, it feels really good waking up at 7. My meditation over the last week, I feel has gone to another level. Like I'm feeling so spiritually aligned and connected right now, like possibly the most I ever have. Just from, I might, to be fair, my meditation never really fell off. I was still, even when my habit tracker was floundering, I was still meditating pretty much every day. But it feels like I'm, yeah, extremely spiritually connected right now, which is great. I went for a run, albeit short runs, every single day last week, but it's better than nothing, and that felt great. I'm someone, I know you judge your physical health based on what clothes you fit into. I'm not like that at all. I judge my physical health based on my scale weight, especially now that I've lost all of this weight. And my weight has been pretty much consistently where I would hope for it to be. I want it to drop a little bit, but I'm okay with it where it is right now. However, staying at my mum's and having access to a fridge full of free food, cupboards full of free food, I'm eating a lot. And so my weight has been spiking here and there. And it went 2 days ago, I think it was, to the highest it's been in, actually yesterday, to the highest it's been since I lost all of that weight, like in months, which was concerning because I was like, I'm okay with it where it is right now, but I don't want it to get to that level. But luckily, it's dropped again today because I am doing the right things. So physical health feels good, spirituality feels great. I am going to see Savita. I'm flying back to India on Thursday, which is fucking mental, but I can't wait. It's going to be so nice, even though it's only one full day, which is crazy, but it's going to be so nice just to be there, especially with what I'm about to say, which is I've realized since I've been back, I am seriously craving, not even craving, I'm just seriously lacking love in my life right now. And like physically in person kind of love. I have Savita who I speak to every single day. My mum is away at the moment. I've been speaking to her sporadically, but in my country, in my actual in-person life right now, I do not have any love, like zero. My dad, I'm barely seeing my dad. My family are all away right now. I'm not really seeing my friends much at the moment. And even though I'm trying to move away from certain peer groups and certain people in those peer groups, I still love them and they still serve a purpose in my life and they provide love and connection in my life. But yeah, I think what I've realized is that I've come back and Savita has stayed in her family home where I was for 6 weeks, being served by her family, getting so much love from her family. And I've come back and I have nothing. My family aren't here. I'm not seeing my friends much, especially because I'm staying at my mum's, so I'm a little bit isolated, just a bit outside of London now. So it's tough. I'm having a bit of a hard time, and I've felt really lonely over the last few weeks, and I think I've realized it makes sense why I feel lonely because I'm genuinely starved of love right now, and that's been really difficult. And there is another reason for that, which we discussed before. I've spent a lot of money at the start of the month, and now I'm trying to kind of take a step back and not drink and save money where I was spending money before. So I looked at my bank statement, I saw, okay, this is where I can cut money, and I have been cutting it down. But as a result, that's meant not going out as much, not seeing as many friends, not having anywhere near as much fun as I would like to be having, especially for this time of year. June is one of my favorite months to be in the UK, is one of the funnest months, and I'm just not having much fun. And financially, I've been doing much better. I've been, especially staying at my mum's with all this free food, I have been saving a lot of money. I don't know how it works in the US with cars, but once a year in the UK, we have to get our car checked up. It's a legal requirement, and we get a certificate at the end of it if it passes. And if it fails, we have to get the work done. We don't have a choice. Otherwise, it's illegal to drive. So I took my car into my mum's local mechanics yesterday. It's one I haven't used before. Usually I take it to my local one. I know that pretty much always the guy is going to pass it. Sometimes I question if it's legal, his operation, just because there's no way my car should be passing every single time. But yeah, so he passes it every single time. But yeah, I took it in yesterday, And I got a call later in the day saying that it failed. And it's called an MOT. So the MOT costs about 50, £60, like not too much. The fear is when it fails and you have to spend money on work. And suddenly he sent me an invoice, and all of my hard work in terms of budgeting and saving money has been undone. And he basically gave me an invoice for £400 that I have to front out of nowhere. And it just stung. Of course, I can afford the £400. And Savita kept, like, she said she was worried about my money. And I'm like, I'm not worried. Like, I'm still in a privileged position, right? I still have money. But that is a big hit to me,
Yeah.
especially considering where I've started the month and where I plan to finish. And I've been budgeting really closely, and suddenly that budget's gone out the window. And now if I want to stay above the level of savings that I have or that I want to be, then my budget is basically £3 a day. And I have things planned. I'm going to the cricket next weekend, and I'm going to be spending a lot of money there. And it was a big hit, and it felt like a massive gut punch. And that kind of, I think, impacted my view on the love thing even more, the connection thing, because I'm like, damn, I really can't go out for the rest of the month now. And of course I can, but I'm in a scary position. I have savings, but it's depleted so much over the last few months, being unemployed for a bit. I didn't get paid last month,
Yeah.
which I was expecting to. So yeah, it's a big hit, and I think it hasn't impacted me mentally as much as it maybe would have done, because I'm in such a strong place mentally right now.
Yeah.
But I'm worried. I'm stressed about money, and I said to Savita yesterday, maybe I shouldn't have said this, because she's never seen me in this position before. You have, so I can say this to you.
Yeah.
But 4 or 5 years ago, if this had happened, if I was in this position, I would have relapsed 100% of the time.
Yeah.
100% of the time. And that's why I think it's so scary to me. I don't feel temptation to relapse. I think, again, I'm in a very mentally strong position and a very strong part of my recovery journey.
Yeah.
But it's scary to think about, yeah, literally, this is the worst position financially I've been in since I stopped gambling, 100%, since I cleared my debts. And that's a scary place to be in as a recovering addict.
Yeah.
So I'm struggling a bit with that.
Wow. It's honestly, I totally get it. It's something that I didn't mention either, but the financials and the physical health are also wearing on me right now. Those are the areas that are not going so hot. But for you too, I think, first of all, life be lifing sometimes. You're going to get that unexpected bill sometimes. You're going to get the thing sometimes. And I'm really proud that you're like, yeah, this is challenging, but I have no temptation towards relapse. And that you're like, even though you had that bill, you went to the budget and you were like, okay, now this is the amount that I can spend. And you're going back and you're doing the right things. You're doing all the right things. And I think it's, again, we talked about it like seasons of life, and especially with this feeling like lack of love in your life. I hate to be like seasons of life, just focus on the grind and everything, but that's kind of what you have to do, because you have no option as far as in-person connection, and you can just really focus on your long distance relationships and building those. And like, it sucks and it's lonely, but it's just, again, seasons of life. I think you're in a position where you're learning so much in this time about you're creating these crazy great habits with your work and with your finances and with your health and everything. Yeah, you're sacrificing maybe the fun or maybe the love or maybe the fun love with the money and the friends and family, but you're building in so many other areas that it's one area of life is giving for the other areas of life. And it's like that balance sometimes is not balance. The balance sometimes is out of whack, and that's just the way it is. But overall, I think you're handling it really so far.
Yeah, I would say so. And you're absolutely right. And this is, again, exactly what Savita said to me pretty much, and was what I keep telling myself. It's seasons of life. And right now, I'm going through an expensive couple of months. I've just spent a lot of money, blasted through a lot of my savings while in India. And now I've come back and I started the month really stupidly. I started the month spending so much, spending money that I really shouldn't have been spending. And I was going out, I went to a couple of festivals and I drank a lot, and it just meant that I blasted money right at the start of the month, when actually I think my new outlook is start the month slowly. No matter what you've got on, start the month slowly. Don't drink. Cut as much money as you can. And then come the end of the month, if you have spare, if you are in a good position, you can reward yourself
Yeah.
with one day drinking or one meal out or whatever. You can reward yourself, but make it a treat and a reward for being disciplined. And I didn't do that this month. And so it's come to the end of the middle of the month. Feels like the end of the month. It's been a long month. I am now in a position where I've been hit with this huge bill, and that's stinging much more than it would have if I didn't start the month in such a shitty position.
Yeah.
And with such a careless position, I think is the best way of putting it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's seasons of life. And what I keep telling myself is I get paid at the end of the month. Unfortunately, I think most of that is going to go towards my credit card bill. In fact, all of it is going to go towards my credit card bill. And then next month, I start afresh. I am super disciplined from day one next month and for the rest of this month. The rest of this month is how to go on next month, basically. That's how I need to see it.
Yeah.
And then, unfortunately, next month, my salary is still going to be my base salary, which is terrible. I haven't earned that little in years.
Yeah.
Because I've been on good commission. But I don't have my clients yet. I won't be getting my clients apparently till the first week of July. If I get them in the first week of July, that means I have a whole month to build commission, which I'll be paid in August. So hopefully in August, I'll start making decent money and I'll start clawing my way back
Yeah.
from the position I'm in now. But I think July is going to be another really disciplined month. And then moving forward, hopefully I can actually build that muscle
Yeah.
and be that disciplined every month. I think the other thing that is going through my head is if it was just me that I was providing for, which is technically true right now, I wouldn't be this stressed. I'm in a comfortable position.
Yeah.
I still have, as I said, a decent amount of savings. But I have right now someone else to think about. I have Savita and our future. And right now I'm thinking about the next 3-4 years. Even the next 2 years
Yeah.
are going to be incredibly expensive, and I have to be saving money for those. And so seeing my savings go down instead of up, and actually with very little, I feel powerless. Like what happened with my car yesterday, I feel completely powerless to the outcome there.
Yeah.
Sometimes it feels like you're leaking money. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes
Yep.
just money is coming out of your account left and center, and even when you're trying to be careful, you're trying to budget, there are unavoidable expenses, and it stings. But I'm trying not to have that mindset right now. My dad, for example, he invited me out tonight.
Yeah.
He invited me for dinner. He messaged me late last night, and I said, I'll have to think about it. And I thought about it overnight, and I was like, and the reason I have to think about it is purely because of money.
Yeah.
And I was like, I shouldn't be thinking like this. I'm starved of love right now, so it'd be lovely to see my dad. And B, I can't be living with a scarce mindset. I can't be pushed into a corner where I'm thinking scarcely. I need to be thinking abundantly.
Yeah.
And I can go out for dinner with my dad. I can allow myself that one thing, but I need to be abundant. And because I think the moment you get into a scarce mindset, it's dangerous territory because scarcity breeds scarcity.
Yeah.
And I don't want that.
Yeah. 100%. I really, really get it. And I feel like I'm in a very similar position, especially after putting in notice at my job. And I've paid my accommodation through end of September, and that I had to pay it all at once. And I'm like, oh my God, now I have to go through a little bit of my savings to pay for all of this. And I'm like, shit, my savings are going to go down. And I just put a notice in at my job. Holy shit, that's starting to wear down and starting to freak me out a little bit. And I'm like, okay. I keep thinking, oh, it's gonna be fine because I'm paid out through the end of September. So it's like you pay this big thing now, and then through the summer you're good, but then you're still spending money through the summer doing all your other shit and things that I'm committed to. And I'm like here and spending left and right, like buying dinners and this and that. And I'm like, geez, it's adding up. And I'm like, part of me is just want to being abundant and being like, you got to do the thing and it's okay, the money's going to come back. And then the other part of me is I'm not being smart, but I'm also like, no, when I'm back in LA, I'm going to be like the discipline, literally. We kind of switched a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, no, 100%. Do you actually foresee that happening when you're in LA, that that'll be a different season of life and
Yeah.
from a money perspective, and you'll spend less?
Yeah, I really think so. I think LA, when I come back to LA, like my intentions this summer is number one, to be as present as possible, but number two, to set myself up for success for when I go back to LA, which means I'm wrapping everything up at my job this summer and also like getting everything prepared and getting the ideas and the everything in line for when I do take this project, this entrepreneurship full time, and what that looks like and how to spend. But yeah, like that includes like my life with being in LA, like what am I going to spend my money on? What am I prioritizing? And basically like budgeting out how I want to do everything and just working through that, which is pretty gnarly. And like, I think when I get to LA, it's going to be this season of like crazy discipline where I'm just working, phone on do not disturb all the time. I'm not going to talk to anybody, like just working, and like putting the elbow grease in and then spending just on my like groceries at the farmer's market. Allow myself like allow myself to spend on wellness events, like health and wellness events, because it's networking. Number two is my groceries, and number three, give myself, I don't know, $10 to $20 a week to be like, this is your fun money. If you want to go buy pizza, or if you want to go like $10 a week to like have my fun, or okay, fine. And like just be super, super disciplined with it. But that's what I'm expecting from the LA season. Like before I get there, really focusing on like setting myself up for that LA season.
Yeah, for sure. That's good that you have that headspace, and I think I need to get into a similar mindset, because right now I think just after yesterday, when you get that big expenditure and it hits hard, and uh, a big unexpected expenditure, and I think it's just kind of like harmed my headspace a bit. I've really been catching myself slipping into that scarce mindset and trying to switch it very quickly to abundant. But when shit like yesterday happens, I'm like, damn, it's this. I feel myself slipping into a hole, and I don't want that. I feel like I'm drowning financially right now, and but that is actually, the more I think about it, it is largely in my control. I just need to be super, super disciplined, and I'll be fine.
Yeah.
And I'll get out of this hole within a couple of months. By September, I'll be out of this hole. I'll be making good money, work. I foresee it going well. So yeah, I need to take a note out of your book. From a physical health perspective, do you not have time right now?
I've worked out, I worked out 3 days this past week, like different, like just work, like weightlifting and strength training and doing pull-ups every day. But it's just been primarily walking, honestly, just like walking a ton, which is like kind of what I do in France anyway. But it's the eating, I think.
See.
I'm like eating patisserie and boulangerie, like just fucking baguettes and pastries and like basically cheese, bread, and ham in every different form that exists in French cuisine, like on a baguette, in a croque monsieur, like in a croissant, like whatever. So I'm still moving, but it's like definitely okay. Like I'm eating I'm eating French food. You know what I mean? Like I'm not holding back there at all. And the movement
But I
is,
think
yeah, go ahead.
as as long as you are moving your body, if you're doing a lot of walking, if you're doing pull-ups, if you're doing something every day, and you're on holiday basically, and you're in France, you're in a foreign country where the food is amazing, it's famous for its carbs basically, you can allow yourself to enjoy it. It's just like in India. I Indian is my favorite cuisine by a mile, right?
Yeah.
And I was in absolute fucking heaven for 6 weeks, eating just the most incredible Indian food. But Indian food is in a different way to French food. So carby, like so ricey and bready, and so heavy on carbs. And I saw my weight going up, and I was working out though. I saw my weight going up, and I saw my progress photos that I take every week. They were concerning, to say the least. I saw the weight coming on, and I was like, you know what, this is absolutely fine. I'm here for 6 weeks. I can enjoy the food. the food here is amazing, and it's part of the culture here. It's part of the main reason that a lot of people come to India. So I can allow myself this season of life. And I've come back and for the most part being much more disciplined, and my weight has stabilized. So you can allow yourself that time of indulgence.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's more concerned about the rest of the summer. I'm going to be with family, and the family is not, family is not the healthiest. While I'm here, it's like I know the quality of the food is so good that even if I'm not eating well, like I know the quality is so good, and I am moving my body every day, so it's not the biggest deal. But I'm more concerned about the length of time I have. But I'm also like, when I'm back in LA, I know I'm going to be on my shit. So like seasons of life, right? Literally this summer season is so heavily focused on other stuff. I feel like when I'm back in LA, at the very minimum, like I know I'm going to be moving and doing the best I can through the summer, but when I'm back in LA, like really focus on career health, and that's it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I think it's a balancing act, right? You can allow yourself to indulge, but you're also absolutely right. I think something that I've noticed spending a lot of time in Europe, and especially Italy, not so much France, is that you can eat the bread there, and the bread obviously in the UK and the US is full of different chemicals, and it's not good for you. And if you eat a lot of that, you're gonna inevitably put on weight and have health issues. In mainland Europe, like France, Italy, Spain, even, the food is such good quality. Like even the pastries, the bread, everything is just like top quality. I found that in Europe, if I would eat a lot of bread, in the UK, I would get bloated. I would feel gross afterwards. I would have a very clear spike in insulin. Like I would just feel gross. But in Europe, I just don't, because the quality is so much better there. So actually you can eat a bit more, and it's not particularly bad for you. But it's just a balancing act, I think, at its core.
Yeah, at the end of the day, isn't everything?
Exactly. With me right now, my financial position is I've got to balance fun versus discipline, and there is a way that I can do both. I'm sure I need to sit down and think about it, and actually maybe budget about that. But I went out with my friends 2 weeks ago, and we went out to a food market. Actually, last week we went out to a food market, where usually I would go there and drink loads and eat loads of amazing food. And I didn't. Last week I went, I got one burrito, I had one Diet Coke, and then the rest of the evening I got by on water, and I was disciplined enough to do that, but I still had a great time. I still had fun with my friends. So it is just a balancing act.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's seasons of life. It's a balancing act, and it's not all going to be perfect at all times. It's just, what do you want to prioritize in this moment, and how can that show up in your actions and in your decisions?
Yeah, exactly. You have to, mantra for years now has been do the right thing, right? And if I can consciously approach every decision, every moment, whether it be what I'm eating, what I'm spending on, where I'm spending, how much I'm spending, any of these things that we've discussed today, if I can take a step back and go, right now, do the right thing. And sometimes that will look like having fun in that moment. But at the same time, doing the right thing would mean not spending so much. And I can have fun without spending so much, without drinking, which is where most of my money goes. So yeah, it's all about doing the right thing.
It's all about doing the right thing. Anyway, y'all, thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out with us on this glorious morning. And we'll catch you guys next week on Mastermind Moments. Bye.
Bye.
We hope you enjoyed this episode.
Don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and follow along on social media.
If you would like us to help you mastermind something in your life, please send us a message.
We'll see you next week on the Mastermind Moments podcast.